So Skirmish Season 12 begins this weekend, basically today, and with it, Blitz comes back to our LGS tables with a competitive focus. Now, to say that a fast pace and explosive format like Blitz has a defined meta of any sorts couldn't really be farther from the truth, right? But certainly there are favorite decks, such as the ones we discussed earlier this week. Still, there is a lot of room in Blitz, a ton of room in Blitz, perhaps more than any other format, for a ringer to come storm your LGS tournament. So today, let's chat my secret picks for a surprise attack during Skirmish Season 12. And, oh yes, my friends, there's lists. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my Flesh and Blood friends. Welcome back to the channel, and happy Flesh and Blood Friday, and more importantly, happy kickoff to Skirmish Season 12. Now, in the Blitz format, which, let's be honest, is known for its fast-paced, explosive games, finding a sleeper hero means looking for a character who might be kind of under the radar a bit, but still have a lot of potential to perform well against the expected meta. So today, I want to walk through 5 heroes specifically who I think are secret weapons of sorts headed into this skirmish season. And yes, I'm going to offer a deck list for each of them. Now, don't you worry, Benji fans. He's not here this time, so you can pump the brakes on the hate mail, at least for that. I do look forward, though, to your next DM. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that Shiana regularly makes this type of list for me headed into skirmish season. Her build can be completely unpredictable except for one thing. It pummels. Oh yes, does she pummel. However, Shiana is a pretty known quantity at this point. Instead, I have another pummel newcomer to the scene. Stupid, sexy, simple, Scurv. Pirate Boat Pummel is definitely a legitimate thing. Now, Scurv's weakness is primarily card pool related, a lack of decent armor, which is incredibly important in Blitz, and let's admit it, his plays are pretty massively telegraphed. That said, Scurv has a very large number of blues, obviously, that's kind of the point, and enough go again to stand the test of allies, and with the right hand, things can get pretty nasty real quick. After all, my friends, it's your money or your life. So let's go ahead and go through my current Skirmish Sleeper Scurv Pirate Pummel build. And spoiler alert, there's a lot of blues in there, kind of Guardian-esque level of blues. You can see this here, and of course, the link is below. Now let's talk through this. Now, I do want to caveat this with, this is not cheap because it's got Tunic in it, right? As well as like Quick Dodge Flexors, which I think is like a $170 card or something. I mean, there's some cards in here. Shiana's not cheap either, and he's kind of the analogy, but, you know, it's a sleeper. If you got the cards already, you might want to have a little fun with Scurv here, not to mention the fact he's got sticky fingers, kind of 2 health and a 2 attack, and I love it. Okay, so let's go into the deck. Now, I love Battalion Bark. I absolutely freaking love Battalion Bark, especially the blue one, but we're running the full rainbow of this. If there are 2 or more blue cards in your pitch zone, it gets +2. So, and this thing blocks 3. Oh my god, this card is good. And it's common, by the way, for all you budget fans out there. But we're not talking budget. But we will be, don't you worry. Okay, we have Command and Conquer, and then Conqueror of the High Seas. Who in the hell thought this card was fair? It's okay, it's siloed to pirates, at least for now. This card is crazy insane. The fact that it costs 4 and not 3. This card would actually be better. Or I should say, more balanced. Let me rephrase that. This card would be more balanced if it cost 3. Because, right? This card costing 4 is actually better for it. Works with Pummel. Just saying. Speaking of, let's look at the Rainbow Pummel. See, you look at this deck, there's a lot of rainbows in here. We're kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again, and that's okay. We have Golden Tipple, red, yellow, money, or your life. When this hits a hero, deal 2 damage to them, unless they give you a gold. And if you're a thief, do it again. Guess who we are? We're a pirate thief. Yar. Okay. Now, I do like Swiftwater Sloop. A lot of times I see folks only playing the blue of this one. The caveat, or I say it's just not caveat, the drawback of this one, it is a block. It's not like Battalion Bark where it blocks 3 and does all the things. This one only blocks 2. But the go again on this one's pretty crazy because you can lead with it. You could pummel this one and then Talishar off of 2 blues, right? That's your play line. That's pretty good, right? Red or blue. It doesn't matter what flavor pummel you have. You got Talishar on the back at the very least. That's a pretty good play line. Now, here's the Andrew Spice. I'm on Zealous Belting yellow because, Pirates need yellow cards, and we don't have a ton of them in here. And also, if you look at a lot of the breakdowns of where the cards are running, because remember, Zealous, well, let's leave Zealous up. How about you show the card while you talk, Andrew? Okay. If you look at it, a lot of the cards you're going to be pitching to this are 5s. Okay, so Zealous Yellow serves a couple of different purposes here. I think this is good tech. Let me know in the comments if you think this is good tech or not. But I think the yellow is good. Going into the blues, we've got Murderous Rabble, Saltwater Swell. This card, do we think this card's on its quest to get banned? Maybe in CC, maybe not in Blitz, but in CC. Well, a different cast. But you let me know. Sunken Treasure, Tip the Barkeep, which you should always do. Dollar a round. That's my BKM. Right, we have 1 Oasis Respite, 2 Sink Belows. We've got 3 AB for a total of a full deck. But look at that breakout. 18 blues. That's why we're only running that with Oasis. We're going to do pretty good against Rune Chance. And we are going to pummel the snot out of our opponents. So that is the Scurv deck. And you know what? Stupid Sexy Scurv is stupid simple. But your opponent doesn't know what's coming. And that's what makes it pretty freaking awesome. When it comes to Mechanologist, Data Dull may be all the rage in Blitz, but did you know there's quite another legitimate Mechanologist hero? And did you know that High Octane is very much still legal in Blitz? And did you know that Maximum Velocity swings for half your health in Blitz? Database Dash is a pretty legit hero in a format where a Boom Grenade can represent a fifth of your health. And a Go Wide Blitz turn backed up by Max Velocity? That just might be time for Big Bertha to start singing. So right here you see my Database Dash Blitz deck. I freaking love this hero. This was like 3 years ago at this point. I had Brian on the cast. I really praised him for the design of, it was Dash IO, but Dash Database, you get it. I really praised him for that. It didn't really manifest for a while, but the potential of this hero and just the intricacies of it, I really love her. So what I have for the loadout, we have Adaptive Plating, Crown of Providence, and we have Heavy Industry Gear Shift, of course, her pistol, not a gun, and we have the Teklo Foundry Heart. Now, going into the deck, I am not running Rainbow Boom Grenades. I'm only running Red-Yellow. I am running Backup Protocol because this card, I have to openly admit, I didn't get this card. Back in the Bright Lights era, I didn't get it. This card's good, man. This card's so good. Fast and Furious, Fender Bender, High Octane. Okay, let's talk about this. Not banned in Blitz. Whenever you boost a card this turn, gain 1 action point. What? This has been in the game forever. Why are you explaining this to me? Because it's that good. Because it's that good with Cerebellum Processor and doing the things you want to do and having action points. Or just pistol. Oh my god. And from Arsenal, it draws a card. Does all the things. Then we have Max Velo. You got 2 of these, by the way, in the Armory deck that you bought. If you bought it, obviously. 2 of them in there. That's all you need for Blitz. Okay, we have Outpace, Pocket Rocket. We've got T-Bone, Red, Blue. We have Rainbow 0 to 60 just because of the value there. We have Zipper Hit, Red, Yellow. 1 Spark of Genius. Okay, 1 Spark of Genius is to go pull basically whatever you need in the moment. Most of the time, it's going to be your T-Core, but it could be a processor. It could be. Now, let's talk Expedite. This goes back to when we had Mint on the channel, kind of walking us through his good performance at a PQ, or actually I think it was an RTN, but it was many, many moons ago. But he basically walked us through and he said, you know what? There's no reason to play a lot of these on hit effects as reds. And I was like, fair point. And ever since then, Blue Expedite has been in my Dash IO list because it makes a lot of sense. Then we have T-Core. All right, moving into the inventory, we have Pulse Wave Harpoon, 2 Throttles, and then Achilles Accelerator because it's got AB, Adaptive Dissolver because it's got AB, and Vizardtronic Model 1I, whatever it may be. I think it's Model I because of the play on the I, I'm pretty sure. See, we be witty up in Fab. I like it. But that gives us all the AB we would ever need. I love this deck. Super spicy. Do not get caught off guard by this thing because if it, like a Max Velo, just kind of like wins in Blitz, make sure to keep them on their toes. You can't necessarily even fatigue this one because, again, if they do their thing and they can set up the Max Velo, makes it very tough. Very good sleeper hero for this upcoming season. So when we saw the High Seas arrows for the very first time, a non-zero number of us said, phew, good thing Voltaire isn't still around and LL'd with Lexi. Except in Blitz, well, it kind of didn't. So it's still here, she's still here, Voltaire is still here, and while she might be either drunk or high, she is still a pretty legitimate secret weapon. So this is probably my favorite of the sleeper decks just because of the pure tech that came out of the latest set. Okay, so let's go over and just, casually look at Dry Powder Shot. So this out of the new set, right? Remember when you were doing aim counters to kind of do the whole like if put face up on your arsenal? That seems to be out the windows. We are back to this. And this card, oh my God, off of Voltaire, this becomes basically a 1 for 5, right? Because you give it go again. It's a 1/5 goes. 1/5 goes. Oh, let's go down to Swift Shot. So this is a 0/4 that says when put face up into your arsenal, gains go again. Well, you can choose the +1 version on Voltaire. It's a 1/5 go again. There's a theme here. Oh my God, so good. Never mind the fact that she's got our Arctic Incarceration. She can just kind of, casually throw some frostbites at you to end her turn with all this go again you're getting off the turn. Like, Lexi's pretty legit right now. And pretty scary, not to mention the fact she just, all of a sudden her blues suddenly potentially became a threat. And I want to start with that because we can go look at some of the blues that we've included, like Searing Shot. Like, this is a pretty legitimate blue, right? It obviously is blue, still defends 3, hits for 3. That's pretty good. And by hits for 3, I mean it doesn't hit for 3. It attacks for 2 and makes you lose a life. You get the point. So it's attacks for 2, threatening 3. We've got Drill Shot, which is amazing. They want to block this because they don't want to lose their stuff. We, of course, are running a full range of Boltyn Shot because Boltyn Shot with Voltaire is disgusting. But also, and perhaps more importantly, Electromagnetic Somersault. Okay, now to be fair, this was around last time. Lexi didn't necessarily do her thing. But when you think about the fact that Lexi, by and large, wants to defend with her arrows, but then also throw her arrows, that's kind of historically really been Lexi's problem. And Somersault lets you defend with 2 arrows, bounce them right both back. In normal cases, you're like, well, what am I going to do with this one bloom in my hand in 2 attacks? Oh, well, that's where Voltaire's go again comes in. Okay, so we are on Rainbow Boltyn, Drill Shot Red-Blue, Endless Arrow, Heat Seeker, because... come on, being able to load your arsenal and then do the flippy flip thing, maybe, either way, even if you're not getting a trigger off the flippy flip, you can still flip it. And then you get another arsenal slot. Come on, Heat Seeker is amazing, right? We're on Infecting Shot Red, Remorseless, because obviously, Searing Red-Blue, Swift, 3 of a Kind, Codex of Frailty, Rain Razors, and then Blizzard and Winter's Bite. Now, moving into the inventory, she's not one that wants to pitch a ton, so Arcane Polarity is the correct answer. Battering Bolt here serves both as kind of a shitty thing to throw at a warrior. Give them a fist bump, give them a hug before you do it, but they don't like it, okay, because they're going to have to defend it. But it's also a popper, okay, and Prism is, kind of a thing. And then, don't forget, from the AB standpoint, Lightning Greaves defends 1, Battle Worn 1, still has, defends 1 with Battle Worn 1, but it has AB, okay. Lightning Greaves, she can play it. It works. It's brilliant. Lexi, very legitimate threat. And there's a lot of people from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 and change years ago who have a lot of experience with Lexi. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a secret weapon this season. So while Fi may have become the fire-headed stepchild of the Drakai in Classic Constructed, in Blitz, he's actually remained pretty decent as a second-tier hero within Blitz. And with the Hunted, he picked up some crazy tools that make him come even harder than before. Oath of Loyalty is a fire starter, and the only drawback is that it requires Draconics. Ignite is a freaking awesome card, and a gorgeous one, by the way. That full art, man, I am so lucky that I pulled one of those. But Fi, with all of his new tools, went from kind of being on the fringes to being a very legitimate contender within the format. So let's go check out my Fi deck headed into the season. And again, as many of you know, Fi has always been one of my very favorite heroes within the game. So I'm really excited to be able to bring a just pure Draconic Searing Emberblade version to the format, especially to see it performing quite well. This whole Draconic popping thing, ooh, I love it. Okay, so in terms of the loadout, we've got Furnace, because taking hits are good. Yes, there are ways to generate resources better in terms of resources than Furnace, but being able to take a hit, avoid a Spinal, that's the correct answer. Okay, Mask of Momentum, we're on Emberblade only. Okay, in the past I have done kind of a mixed thing. We don't have the sideboards, and by that I mean with Kodachis. We do not have the sideboard space in Blitz. Okay, all in on Emberblade. It's awesome. Just do it. Snapdragon Scalers, I'm not trying to do anything. So first off, I don't own the new Dragon Boots. That is a relevant thing here, okay? But I also think that Snappies is the correct thing to do because you can just use it when you need to use it. If you don't draw a fire starter, that is why Snappies is here, okay? Take it from me, trust me. This is better than the Fire Boots. I get it, the Fire Boots can do things to extend Chane, but if you can't start the Chane with Fi, you're in trouble. Run this one, okay? Tiger Stripe Shuko to round it out, because that's pretty crazy with the fact that you can, assuming it doesn't get banished, of course, in today's world, the Phoenix Flame. Right now, Ancestral Empowerment is crazy good. I mean, I don't think I need to tell anybody that. The price on this has gone insane since the Aria deck dropped. We are playing Art of the Dragon Fire. This is a great chain ender. To say it is a Rupture card, I will probably refer to chain enders as Ruptures accidentally at some point. This is not a Rupture card, but it is serving the purpose of said Rupture card, or I should say, of Lava Burst, which is a Rupture card. Okay, but again, it has to do the thing. It's got to, be Draconic. It's either got to follow a Cinderclaw, or you actually have the fealty out for it. Blaze Headlong makes sense, and of course, with what I just referred to, Rainbow, a brand with Cinderclaw, which can just, casually come in and turn anything into what it needs to be to do the thing. Okay, we're on Display Loyalty. This card is really phenomenal. It does, though, have to follow a Draconic. Okay, that's the trap, but then it basically does everything you want to do and sets you up for future things. We're on Lava Burst, Lava Vein Loyalty, Red-Blue, Loyalty Beyond the Grave. I wish I had like 19 of these cards. Oh my god, so good. Mounting Anger, Oath of Loyalty, Rising Resentment, Red-Blue, Snatch, 1 Salt to Wound, 2 Dragon Powers. Okay, 2 Dragon Powers because, the thing still pitches in blocks 3, so like... And you're not on Kodachi, so you don't care that it costs 1. Card seems pretty good. And then, of course, good old Soulbead Strike. Now, moving into the inventory, we've got AB3, and then 2 Wax-Ons because Assassins be a thing. Also, other people play zeros. And Command and Conquer for your poppers. Okay, this is a pretty sweet, pretty low profile, and also, let's be honest, Fi kind of just plays himself based on your hand, and you kind of got to love that when you're 5-6 rounds deep. Pretty effective, pretty awesome, and I absolutely love Fi. All right, so last up we have Flattering Bravo here. Now let me explain to you why I believe Flattering Bravo to be the sleeper hero. It's pretty simple. Home Slice released a week ago, and I don't think we really know what he can do yet. I believe that he is a better Bravo. I do believe that, especially in Blitz when you're, think about it historically. What has Bravo's play been? And by that, I mean OG Bravo. What has OG Bravo's kind of play been? It's to try and do the aura thing, maybe set up a Pulverize, either turn 0, turn 1, whatever it may be, and then just kind of, crush off of that, pun intended. Okay, now, he can do all of that. Flattering Bravo can do all of that, but also has the ability to just kind of do setup, push, pull. And again, nobody really knows what he's going to do yet. So to say that he's not a sleeper hero, I think would be really false, because he's a surprise hero because we just got him a week ago, right? In terms of legality. I'm sure people have been testing with him and all that, but it would be crazy to not put him as a sleeper hero. Now, I do not have a deck list for you to cover in this video because I spent a whole video covering his thing that will be linked below. So you can go check that out in terms of what I would recommend for the Blitz video, or I should say the Blitz list, excuse me. But again, I really think he's going to do things. I think he is going to be significantly better performing, maybe only just due to the surprise factor, than OG Bravo, who's a very known quantity, and everybody knows that as long as you're only taking 3 damage, you're not taking a hit. But now you have to worry about the extra +2, and I think that could potentially be a problem. All right, my friends, so that moves to wrap this up. I do want to wish you the very best of luck, and more importantly, the very best of fun headed into Skirmish season. I believe, I've said this before, I still believe it today, Skirmish season represents the best that Flesh and Blood has to bring. It's in your local game store. It's designed to be played in your local game store with your locals. That's why things are chaotic and can move either directions, because it depends how your locals play and who comes, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and it is the best that card gaming has to offer, and it's the best that Flesh and Blood has to offer. So please, please enjoy your Skirmish season, and I would love to hear from you below. What are you bringing? What are you thinking about taking? Maybe you're going to wait a couple weeks to see what the meta is, although keep in mind you only have 3 weeks of Skirmish season, so you kind of got to, pick a pony and get on it. But either way, I would love to hear from you below. And nothing else, my friends. Enjoy the weekend, enjoy the next 2 weeks, and go Commando.